Hey, all you zealots and zerglings out there, it's time for Game 3 of Dunamai's Qualifier matches. If you haven't seen Games 1 or 2, I recommend you see them right now so I don't spoil anything. Pause so that you can go check them out. And we're moving on. He's currently 1-1 in his matches. Game 1, he was a Terran versus Terran, and he executed an excellent tank hop in order to take out his opponent. In Game 2, though, he was ambushed by a 6-pool, and if you ask me, not a very well executed 6-pool. Some very strange things that I saw there. And that game could probably be more accurately called a beginner's guide to Shattered Temple, which is, again, what he spawned on is Shattered Temple. Because last game, that's about all I had time to talk about before the game was pretty much done. He has spawned as the blue Protoss here in the south base. His opponent is Jonas, the red Terran, who is on the western base. So I said this map is Shattered Temple, which is a variation on Lost Temple. I won't really go into the details again because I did that Game 2, which you of course have already seen, right? So he's dropping down his gateway. I'm not sure about this placement. If you're going to do a wall in, you need it right up here in the front. It may have been bad pylon placement. You probably need to place the pylon back here because there's a lot of useless space there where he can't take advantage of this pylon other than maybe warping in units. So he needed to pull that pylon back here. Then he probably could have moved this gateway a little bit over there and actually do a wall in. Now he's just kind of redirecting the army, forcing them to walk around there, which is sometimes a valid strategy, but that would be more an effective, out here, drop a pylon down here, get a forge, which is pretty common, put some production buildings along here to create a bit of a wall in. And getting a second gateway, so very aggressive with the gateways. Most people get a cybernetics core after their gateway. At least that's what I usually see. I don't know if there's any merit to getting the gateway first. We'll see how this works out for him. And a very interesting wall-in for Jonas. All supply depots. So apparently we're going for the paper wall-in. The only wall-in more terrible than this would be a Zerg wall-in, which is of course non-existent. And getting a barracks, which he doesn't even have one or anything. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, Jonas went 3 depot before barracks. A build I have never ever seen. I just watched a game recently where somebody was kind of commenting on the rare as in never seen 2 depot before barracks, and then this time we have a 3 depot because apparently he just wants to wall in as quickly as possible. But it's a learning experience. These are qualifier matches, which means players could be skill level anywhere from bronze all the way up to platinum, because of course you can't place any higher than platinum, even if you are that good. And going right into 2 racks and dropping a reactor, so he's going 3 depot into Marines, apparently. And I wonder if he's going to get it, and now he's throwing on an engineering base, so he is really throwing down the buildings right now. I guess that's why he wanted to get the wall in, because he's content to not build an army right now. Let's get the production tab up. We do have quite a bit going down here for Dunamai. Already getting his forge. Seems a bit early, but considering his opponent is doing absolutely nothing. But I don't even think he's scouted yet. No, he hasn't scouted. I'm pretty sure Jonas hasn't scouted. No, these guys have no idea what's going on in each other's bases. And his wall-in is... I think I just saw his units walk down there, so I don't think his wall-in is complete, but he could just drop his zealot here and block it off if he wanted to. Yeah, definitely there's a little gap right there, which is usually what you want as Protoss, because it's just enough to choke a zealot in there. And is he doing anything with his forge? I'm not seeing it. He's not building any photon cannons, so I'm not sure what this forge is doing right now. It is doing absolutely nothing. So a bit premature on the forge. We do, of course, have level 1 infantry for the Terran player Jonas, which means that his engineering bay was gotten at the correct time in order to get his upgrades. Of course, it looks like he's only now just getting an army, and he has got no add-on on this base, so we are not going to see any of the special upgrades for the Terran. No combat shields yet, no stim packs, just level 1 infantry, but that's still pretty good. Marines fire fast, so that +1 does a lot of good for him. And we got some zealots and a stalker here. Looks like he's chrono boosting out nothing right now. He's chrono boosting out his warp gate gauge. I actually think you can do that. It's kind of chrono boost the warp gate transformation. Just give you that slightest bit of edge right there. Not that he needs it at this point in time. And it looks like, oh, we're getting another reactor. So we are going heavy with the Marines, but at least he's getting some upgrades for them. But I don't know. I mean, you get some Zealots here in the front line. This Guardian Shield. If you get a Guardian Shield up on this one, that will help counteract mass Marines. If you scouted it, he could easily... I mean, I'd like to see him get a Robo Bay out and scout what's going on there. Instead, he's getting a 3rd Warp Gate. I'd almost like to get him a Robo Bay. If he's not going to scout, get a Robotics Facility out, get an Observer out, see what your opponent is doing. He has no detection right now, so your Observer would be completely safe in going all through here. And, oh, are we supply... Well, we're not supply blocked. I guess it's just preemptive supply depots. Kind of a lot to preemptive supply. Oh, and he did do a supply drop. I do not like that at all. Especially he supply drop on a front depot. This is his frontline defense. If this goes down, he loses 16 supply. I mean, that is huge. Oh, and we are getting a ground armor for the Protoss army and a Stargate. Now, they are on close positions. Well, close air positions, although I don't even think he knows this yet. He does not even... I don't even think he knows that yet. So this... I'm not sure what he's going to do with this Stargate. I'd almost like to see a robotics facility. He can get an observer out. Or maybe even a Templar Archives. If he knew his opponent was going this many Marines, Psystorm would just be unbelievable here. Absolutely unbelievable. Or Colossus. Colossus would be good too. I don't know what he's going to do with the Stargate. Marines counter absolutely everything that comes out of a Stargate. Absolutely counter everything that comes out of it. And they are moving out now. Are they going to break down these rocks? I'm not really sure what his Marines are doing. And now there's an army over here apparently trying to go... If he was going to go attack this base, though, he's got his army just sitting there saying, "Hello, we're down here!" I hope he at least scouted up there first, although I didn't see it. And it looks like these guys are going to run into each other on the far side of the map, which is going to give them completely false tactical information on where their opponents are, because they have no idea. And I think he might be just putting these pylons there just to spot. That's not a bad idea. And these guys are going to break down these rocks. I'm not really sure what's going on right now. Maybe he thinks there's a base up here, and he wants to check it out. I'm really confused what's going on right now. Now, we do have Dunamai taking the watchtower, which that's good. Get some vision to the center of the map. He's not going to see anything just yet. Okay, so these rocks are down now. So, what now? We are seeing a Void Ray. Ooh, now we're seeing a Twilight Council. That's good. I want to see him get some Templars. Some Psystorms would be fun to watch. And up come the Marines, and they're in for the charge, and they're going here to find nothing. But I could have told him there's nothing there. There's no starting point there. But maybe he didn't know that. Now we're finally seeing some some upgrades from that forge. He's getting his level 1 ground attack. That's good. I'm not really sure what he's going to do with this Void Ray. If he mixes it into his army, it could be pretty powerful. He's got a second base up now, so he could afford to get a robotics facility if he wanted. I really would like to see him do that. And these Marines are on the hunt. They are they're going to take a while. I've never seen anyone scout with their entire army before like that this early in the game, although it's getting a lot later in the game, and we have had no engagements yet. And I really think both sides could have a bigger army. There's just a ton of Marines here, and he is running off of 2 barracks. I mean, he's got a lot of resources. He could go 3 or 4 racks if he's going to sit here on one base. And I'm not sure what this army... I'm not sure what either army do. These guys look like they're hunting for where Dunamai is at, and he's getting Blink. I don't know if Blink is that good against Terran. Now, if you were going Colossus and you were afraid of Vikings, Blink would be a good way to get underneath the Vikings, but other than that, I don't know. And he doesn't have a robotics facility down, so he's not even teching towards Colossus, so I'm not entirely sure about this. I'd rather see him get a Templar Archives and get Psystorm, personally. That's what I want to see. I'm not sure what this army is doing. I would like this army just to sit here on this watchtower until they see someone coming, and these Marines are getting pretty scary. I mean, a mass Marine is not necessarily the greatest build, but in these numbers, they are scary. And oh no, they're gonna walk right into this army of Marines. This could be bad. That Void Ray is gonna go down quickly, and this Stalker needs to pull back. What is that Stalker doing? And he gets Guardian Shield up, but these Stalkers are not in it. And well, he's got a good concave, I guess, but I don't think this was the best executed attack. This is going to be close. He might clean this up. I think he's going to lose this battle, but he did enough damage where at least he can probably rebuild at home. And now we're getting Neosteel frame. We're getting the armor upgrade for Terran's buildings. Another strange Terran upgrade. And what is he doing with this? He's lifting his building off and taking it to the semi-island. Which, of course, in the Lost Temple map, this actually is an island base, not something that can just be get access from busting out the rocks. But I'm really confused on what is going on. This is making little sense to me right now. And what kind of army do we have here? We have no army here for Dunamai right now. I mean, 3 Zealots, 3 Stalkers. This many Marines might even be enough to take that out. I don't know what's going on here. He's getting another Void Ray. This is not what he needs right now. He saw all the Marines. This Void Ray is not going to do anything, especially with this size army. This is not the unit he needs. If he had kept his army intact, yeah, the Void Rays might make a difference. But here, this army isn't big enough to run distraction for the Void Ray to get charged up on anything. And Terran's still looking for Dunamai's base. I've never seen such a thing before, and he probably has a bunch of Marines here now. He does have. Oh, he got that armor upgrade for the buildings that I believe was to get the size upgrade for the bunker. So now he can fit 6 unit slots in here. So this is very, very strange. Oh, now he's getting the armor upgrade. So he's getting two of the rarely seen upgrades from the engineering bay. 2 of the 3 rarely seen upgrades. He does have 1-1 on his Marines, so at least he got that first. I'd rather see him get 2-2 than to go for all this. And he's on 2 barracks. This would be so easy for Dunamai to beat, and now he is getting a pretty good army. He needs something to combat these Marines. The charge might help some. It would get his Zealots on the front line to take the damage and allow his Stalkers and Void Rays to do the damage. Oh, but they're not going to get the chance to use it. These Zealots are not in the front, which is not the best way to be using them. I think this army is going to go down. Guardian Shield goes up, maybe a little bit late, but it will do some help against these Marines. And I don't know what that blink was for. All his Stalkers were shooting. That blink served no purpose other than to get 3 of his Stalkers outside the Guardian Shield. He did clean it up. He did clean it up. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. He's getting his armor, his level 2 ground armor, which against this many Marines, would that actually be a better upgrade? I don't know. I still want to see him go for Robotech. He's not even producing off this anymore. He is on 2 gate. He does not have nearly enough production facilities for 2 bases. But then again, neither does Jonas, who's going to be quickly running out of resources here, and he is getting some SCVs out there to mine this base. I'm just not sure what either of these players are doing right now, and he's just kind of gone in a defensive position, filling up bunkers, which would do him absolutely no good if Dunamai went Robotech and got Colossus, because then they could just shoot at these things all day, and they wouldn't care. But no, it looks like he's going to stick with the Void Rays. I'm not sure what his idea was about this. He could at least maybe send him over here. He could probably take out a lot of these well, he probably couldn't take them out because with this many Marines, they would get down there pretty quick to defend it. But he could cause a lot of harassment, keep Jonas in his base and scared. And now we're getting a factory. I'm not sure what he's going to produce off of this right now. I guess maybe just if he wanted to get the starport. And this is a pretty small army to attack this base, especially when he doesn't have any proven Marine killers in this army. And now he's getting the level 2 attack. I'd almost want him for him to wait for this to finish before he does anything. His Void Rays are kind of in a bad position, but they do get out of there just fine. They take a couple of hits, but, you know, not too bad. And, oh, I don't know about this. He just blinked his Stalkers in there to die because now none of these guys can get in there to fight. He needs the Zealots to soak up the damage from the Marines. But it looks like he is going to focus down this bunker. The bunker is going to go down. I don't like where he's flying his Void Rays. He has only 1 Stalker left. I think he needs to pull back. He did quite a bit of damage, but now he's just taking needless hits. I think he needs to pull back. I think he needs to pull back. Pull back, pull back, pull back. No, don't get in the range of this. There's 6 Marines in there. Nah, he's going to lose this army. He did quite a decent amount of damage. I was a bit surprised, but he needed to pull back before then. And he needs to get this army out of there and reinforce, which he is not reinforcing right now. He has a ton of resources, not nearly enough production facilities. These Void Rays did kind of help in that offensive attack, so maybe they weren't the worst choice. But now we're getting siege tanks out, and well, if he gets siege mode, that would be pretty bad. But if he doesn't, then that's not there. Now here comes siege mode, which once that finishes, I think Dunamai might have a lot more trouble with this army. I don't really like these guys sitting here. They do not have enough If these Marines pulled out, these guys would just be dead. Stalker might get away if he utilizes Blink, but... And we are getting a forward pylon here. I want to see more of an army. This army needs to be reinforcing. You know where he is. You've done a lot of damage to his Marines, and he still does not have enough production facilities for 2 base. Neither of them have enough production facilities for 2 base. And we are getting medevacs out now, so it looks like Jonas finally realizes that just pumping out a crap load of Marines is not going to win you the game. Although a crap load of Marines did kill me in one of my qualifiers, but I admittedly made my own mistakes in that game and did the wrong tech switch. But we are not talking about that game right now. We are talking about Dunamai and Jonas, who don't really seem to be doing much right now. He's finally pulling his army back. That's what I like. At least pull him back to this pylon. Start reinforcing. Okay, he's finally bringing his troops forward. I really want to see more production facilities from both these players. He does have a 3rd gate, but he could get so much more. Oh, he's got another gate here or there, too. So he's got 4 gates. He could probably get another... he could probably still throw down a Robo Bay, a Robo facility, and get Colossus, or maybe throw down another gateway and get a Templar Archives and get Psystorm. But now siege mode is done, and so this front door is going to be very hard to beat. The Void Rays will help take it out, but I think position Void Rays right here and start putting damage on these tanks, and then pull back the second the Marines respond, and you could do an awful lot of damage. And he just rebuilt this bunker, which doesn't make any sense to me right now. These bunkers aren't really doing that much other than keeping his infantry less mobile. Now we're seeing a robotics facility. That's what I wanted to see a long time ago. And we check the army size right now, and Jonas has a huge army size, but then again, a lot of that is Marines, which is not surprising, but still Dunamai could have a bigger army. We check the income tab. Jonas has the worker advantage and the resource advantage. Dunamai needs to be making a lot. Is he making any probes? He's not making any probes right now. Did he just make 2 robo facilities? I don't know if I agree with that, unless he's going to forsake his Stargate. If he's done with his Stargate tech and he's doing a tech switch, 2 robo base may not be a bad idea right now. He's getting an observer out. I wouldn't mind seeing some immortals. They would help against those tanks, but he's instead going to go for the Robo Bay, which is a good choice as well. But he's got a long way to go before, and he doesn't have a lot of minerals. He's got a ton of gas. If I get a ton of sentries right now, I don't know if that would help against the army composition he's dealing with. And he probably will pull his army forward to help defend this pylon. And we do have a sensor tower here, so Jonas knows there's somebody here, and this building is probably not long for this world, because it looks like he is posturing either to take an expansion or to take out this probe.